This morning we're heading back up to see John at Knight's Custom Conversions so he can make a start on the van.
Okay, we've arrived at Knight's Custom and this is really exciting because the first thing I've spotted is the van that they're taking to the show, to the NEC. Should we have a quick look before we start talking to everyone?
Right. John, you've done a fantastic job of this, mate. Thank you very much. Look at the colours there. They work so well, don't they?
They do. And that's the tricky thing now because we came in with one idea and now we've seen the show van, we've got other ideas. So making the colours that we're interested in work with the weight will be an interesting thing. Well, that's your job.
Yeah,
that's why we've got you.
Talking about the weight, John, show me this new board that you've got.
Okay, so this came in today.
It did indeed, yes. This is a new product on the market. It's called a Vorhinger Airply. And so it's an XPS foam insulation with a 4.5mm layer either side. This is made by Vorhinger and it's 45% lighter than Vorhinger's normal ply and about 60% lighter than our standard ply we use, which is a Alto Fina.
And being composite, it's going to be very strong, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's strong. It's it's obviously the same thickness as well. We've edge banded it, make sure it edge bands fine, and it does. It's a really nice finish on there.
So we're going to use 5 or 6 sheets of this on our conversion, we think.
I would say so, yes.
So we're going to save a considerable amount of weight using this board instead.
Yes.
Brilliant. New to the market. Love
Certainly
it.
is.
Fantastic. So do you like this one?
I do, and I really like the colours in here as well. Initially we were looking at something with a bit more grain in here, but we want to go with more sustainable materials inside, so we're looking at maybe a bamboo work surface, and there are some interesting finishes on the bamboo work surfaces that you wouldn't want too much of a pattern everywhere else as well. So
right.
Yeah, I guess that's the next thing we need to look at, the prettiness of the inside interior.
And how about splashback as well? We can choose an image to go on the splashback.
Isn't this amazing?
It is, isn't it?
It's a fantastic, this beautiful image that they've put within the splashback. So we have got some really good photos from
maybe we can use one of our photos that we
have.
Isn't it?
I mean, there's one at the Plitvic Lakes with the 3 little boys looking into the lake. That might be beautiful.
That'd look good, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yeah. John, we're taking up so much of your time. Thanks for this, buddy.
That's what I'm here for.
But I think we decided on colours. What do you think, love?
We have, and I'm very excited because originally we've talked about red, we've talked about blue, we've talked about sunshine yellow, but actually the theme we're going to go for is it's a green, but not an in-your-face, smack you around the chops foresty green. It's quite a subtle pistachio green for the interior, and then the retro green, one of the original greens from VW Campervans on the exterior. And this is going to be the work surface. It's a bamboo work surface. This is the finish of it, so it's quite a warm colour. And even more exciting, the flooring, we've chosen, look at this, we've chosen a spiced bamboo colour. So there's lots of colours within the bamboo down there just to warm the whole thing up. I think that's going to be beautiful.
So we're looking at trims now for the carpet for the walls. And I think the dark one, my love.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, or the other one. I don't mind.
Yeah, certainly not the light one.
Not the light one.
One of these two, but I'd probably stick with this one here.
Okay, right, we've had another rethink. So we were originally going to go with the iron blinds, but we're going to change the blinds to a darker blind, which will also look like it matches-ish, and goes well with the carpeting that we've chosen, and also the seats that are already in the interior.
So John, since we last measured it and I put the video out, everyone's saying that the bed is just going to be too small, and I may well agree with them.
Yeah,
I know I insisted that we have a toilet, but if we do without a toilet, and we can maybe get the Clayton up on the wheel arch.
That's right, yeah. So if we put the Clayton up on the wheel arch, when all this trim's removed, we'll gain at least 120mm. I mean, that's just what I can see right now. When we take this out this week, we'll be able to get it even further back.
Right.
So potentially, the measurement we had, we'll have another 120mm on top of that, which will make the biggest bit of difference.
We'll
be over 4 foot as a bed then.
That'd be a good size. What do you think?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
John, let's go with that. See how big you can make this bed.
Yep.
It's a nice one.
So what's your plan for the toilet as you're an old man and need to get up lots?
A pee bottle.
A
So that's it, John. We're going to leave it with you for the week now.
Lovely, thank you very much.
And you can do your measurements and you can take that floor out and see what you can work with that.
Yeah.
But I know you can't do much with the pop top until that's in, around the roof.
Yeah, wait for that pop-top roof to go and then we can finalise all the top
Be a
lines.
few weeks for that yet.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Wasn't John lovely?
Oh, he's such a sweetheart. Love his mum as well.
Right, it's a proper family business, and we know we're in safe hands at Knight's Custom Conversions, and the finish of his work is second to none, so we're really excited, especially with these new colours that we've chosen, right? But it is our 19th wedding anniversary, so we're going to stop and get a bite to eat on the way home. So we tried a couple of the local pubs, but it was lunchtime and none of them were open. And that one's closed as well.
Mondays is not the day for visiting.
It's not, no. Settle for a service station lunch?
Gonna have to, aren't I?
So we popped into Peterborough Services, where we jumped on the self-service screens at the KFC and each ordered a rice box for lunch. Every time we have a rice box, we say we should have had a rice box more often. Really tasty.
It is. I just missed a DPD delivery because I couldn't get online quick enough with my normal mobile data to answer the Ring doorbell and tell them to leave it with the neighbour. So, obviously, now I'm sat here, we're just having some lunch, I'm going to jump on the Wi-Fi here. And because I don't trust the Wi-Fi here, and I don't trust any public Wi-Fi, I'm going to engage my Surfshark as well. If you don't know what Surfshark is, it's a VPN. It's a virtual private network. And what that means is that the information and data that goes from my phone up to the internet is encrypted. So it's put in like a safe tunnel to keep it safe, so that baddies and big corporations on the internet can't get more than I want to give them. We've been using Surfshark for a couple of years now, and we use it in all sorts of situations. Hotels, shops, shopping centres, service centres. And when we're in Europe, it protects us in two ways. It gives us the normal protection when we're online, but we can also use it to change our IP address. Now, our IP address is the physical location of where our device is. So when we're in Europe, we like to set it to the UK, so we can still access our Disney and Netflix accounts and still access all that brilliant UK content that we're enjoying. When we were doing our research and choosing a VPN provider, we chose Surfshark because it's one of the only VPN providers that allows unlimited devices under one account. So we have a family account that covers all of our devices. If you think Surfshark is something you might be interested in, or you'd just like a little bit more information, scan this QR code here, or use the link in the description, add the code Radfords, and you'll get 3 months free. Hardly romantic meal of the year, but it's filled a hole, and we're going out for cocktails and dinner sometime soon.
So whilst we left the van at night, they got to work stripping out the bulkhead and all the components from the van, which also saved us some weight. Then John and Tony went about measuring up the inside of the van so they could put it all into their CAD program. One of the challenges is this area here that will be the kitchen. As you can see, it's not very big, and we want to house the Clayton power unit as well as having a sink with freshwater and wastewater tanks without protruding out too much to shrink the bed.
Good morning.
We're heading back to Knight's Custom Conversions, where he's had the van for a couple of weeks, and let's see what progress he's made. Ooh, he's got it in here. Ooh. So Tony here has had the headache of making everything fit. You see, he's working on the CAD here, and you spent days on this, Tony, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Literally days and days. Oh dear.
It's not just making it fit, it's looking at really interesting and clever ways to use the lightweight materials that we've got in mind to create some really innovative solutions. Things that haven't been done before. Well, these guys haven't done it before, and we've not seen it anywhere before.
Right.
So if you're really geeky and like that kind of thing, this is going to be really interesting for you. So we've just made some big changes, or some little decisions that are going to have a big impact on the overall design. Do you want to talk us through everything we've gone through?
Okay, yeah, I'll try to. Right, so because we want this 7-inch display that now integrates with the Clayton, we need to have a PDU in this that works with it. Now the PDU is quite big, so it's trying to find that space for that, as well as a Clayton, as well as a fresh and wastewater tank, and give you some storage and get a sink in there as well in a small space.
And lightweight materials.
Yeah, in lightweight materials, without even thinking about, obviously this side we'll go through in a minute. So on this side we've got to locate the PDU, which is going to have to go there. So this is going to be located down here with an accessible panel, so you can still get to the fuses and relays. down there, which is dead space anyway. And then, as before, we're going to have the waste and the freshwater tank sat in front of here because we're going to keep it narrow because we want to get this big bed in here. We're virtually 4 foot, so that's worked out quite nice.
You've made the bed bigger for us. How big have you made it, John?
As well. So it's 1185 wide, so nearly 4 foot wide,
wow.
and it's 1900 long. So,
Perfect. So 6'4".
6'4" basically by 4 foot, nigh on.
Perfect. Excellent.
So,
and we haven't, and you've still got enough leg room, feet room down there?
Yeah, so we've basically made this, so it's going to be 650 deep. We need to get the 650 deep to get the pull out we need, so it's going to leave you a 500mm walkway, which is still enough then to get your Clayton, your sink, everything we're trying to do in that. It'll still work, and then working with the splashback and the control panel. I mean, got a bit to work out when the roof goes on, but
right. I see you and Tony playing Tetris on the computer there.
Yeah,
and
you could call it Tetris, yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, several. Well, God knows how many hours playing Tetris, but yeah, nearly there.
And the floor, John.
Yeah, so a bit of a different design on the floor. So basically, generally you would see the steps in there. Now the steps take a lot of frame up. So the ID Buzz People Carrier, that would generally have lower steps. Now we looked at the ID Buzz People Carrier steps, but that isn't going to work with the floor. It would work, but it means chopping them down still. They don't fit directly. So it makes sense we do what we do with the bigger vehicles, and we make our own step in the floor, finish it all off with the flooring, with our finished floor. And then we're going to create the steps. We're going to come straight across down here, so we don't interfere with the Volkswagen electrics. We haven't even had to relocate them. Just take the plates over them, and then block this side off.
So so we're going to have the 2 levels.
Yep.
Different levels on there.
110mm drop, so we've gained 110mm.
And the bed now is a little different, John.
Yeah, so the bed is going to be, because we've got to negotiate this fridge that's here, and you want the fridge to pull out.
We want the fridge to pull out, and when it's accessible when the bed is out into a double bed.
That's right, yeah. So that's been a bit of a challenge. That's been a head scratcher for me and Tony for a while. So what we've done is we've put a solid board all the way across here as a support. So it's going to block off this side, but we're going to have accessible kind of storage this side.
Perfect.
Make a bit of use out of it.
Yep.
And then from there, we're going to have solid sides, runners, and then the runners that pull the fridge forward is going to be integrated with a section of the bed that pulls forward.
So the bed is split into 2 sections. This section will slide out, and that section will slide out.
Yeah, and so we've got mini casters going under the seats with runners, so it doesn't mark your floor going across.
Fantastic.
And then we're splitting it now, so you'd pull that side out and that side out. 2 reasons for that. So one reason being, it's going to be easier to pull out. So when you pull this section out, if it was one piece, it's a lot of bed to pull out.
Right, yes.
So there's a potential of it not pulling it out quite level. Separate into 2 smaller pieces, it's going to be easier to pull out. But it also means you have a bit of versatility in essence, that if you want to pull just one section of the bed out and sit down there, you can do.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a reason as well as...
It's almost the L shape that you wanted,
well,
isn't it?
Exactly that. So it could be the L shape at the back, which is the Insta shot, or actually, if we sit here looking out the back, look at what's going to be framed through there as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so it gives you a bit of versatility. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you're making use of all the storage, are you?
Yeah, so with the solid back, we're not going to lose this space. It's going to be, furthest point out is there. We're going to go straight across, shaped all around there, and then we're going to cut out a section in here, which we're going to make accessible. We're going to build a section for it.
Making use of every
bit of space.
Fantastic.
Yeah, every bit of space.
Fantastic. So we're having a sink in the centre. How big's the sink?
So we've got the 260 wide, 320 long. So it's a decent sized sink.
And it's going to impede on our work surface, is it?
No, because we've got a flush top. So it's rebased into the worktop. It'll be a nice bit of corin on the worktop. Everything else is going to be lightweight. The corin is more of a usable chopping board, as well as just making it so you can sit the induction hob if you need it on top.
So lastly, the cupboards that we were keen to have around the top, we can't do anything yet until we have the roof fitted, right?
Yeah, so we don't really know what the impact of the roof's going to have. Obviously the roof is quite a flush roof, which means it impacts inside more than it does outside. It looks really smart, but we've got to really see what that impact is.
Yes.
And see how much space we've got left, because we've got to try and fit this lovely control panel, which now integrates with the Clayton.
Right, we're excited
First
about
time.
that. Absolutely. Yeah. So the roof is getting fitted next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring it back to you after the NEC show.
We certainly are.
And see what we can do with it.
Look forward to it.
You know, it's great to see it without the bulkhead in like this.
Yep.
It is fantastic. Now I know we're going to come up quite a bit.
Yeah, so we're coming 20 mil away from there. We're
right.
looking straight up there. And that's just because we need to, because of the Clayton, the sink and the PDU, everything we've got. Actually impeding the door slightly. Not enough to to cause you any problems.
No, I mean, obviously with my wide shoulders coming in, eventually we're going to have a swivel seat. When somebody does invent a swivel seat for these, in the meantime, we can just push them forward, can't we? And that'll be easy enough to get in and out. Can we have a little sneak peek at the new control panel?
You certainly can.
Good,
it's
mate.
in my NEC one.
Can I just stop a second? The ceiling is like these TikTok spacemen that Steve's been buying. With the projections
turned off that,
Fantastic. Love it.
Nice rough. Yeah, it looks awesome at night. Yeah.
Brilliant.
400 fibre optic lights in that.
Oh, bloody.
Yeah, took a bit of doing.
Oh, brilliant. But look at that control panel.
Yeah.
John, it's an essential. I must have that in my van.
Right, so this one now integrates the Claytons. So basically it's reading how many hours we've got left at current use, telling how much solar input we've got, how much DC power, DC output. We can turn on the inverter just by clicking that now instead of going to a separate section. We've got AC output, AC input. So yeah, it is.
That looks even better than my Victron, you know?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's really nice. Everything is on there now.
It's essential. Fantastic.
Yeah, so we've got the normal controls, so the lights.
Oh,
pump.
look at that.
If you've got an awning, you can turn an awning light. You can change the name of this if you want something else. Now the battery is actually integrated to the Clayton now. So before it wasn't. It thought it was a lead acid battery. Now it knows it's an LPS power, and it knows it's lithium ion. Internal temperature sensors. We've got fresh water. Obviously on yours you've got 2 internals, so yours is not really needed on yours. Time and date settings, and yeah, so everything's on there now, including the Clayton. So
brilliant.
Great jump forward that is.
Excited for that?
Yeah.
Not as excited as I am.
No. But did I sound excited?
So this is your new project van you're doing, is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So look at the roof here. It's got a big pop-top roof on it.
An ATEC pop top.
Right.
And then we've got safari windows all round. We're going to have sleeping pods at the rear here.
Wow.
And then we're going to have, say, full hot water heating system. It's going to be the Aldi heating system in this. So it's going to have underfloor heating. It's going to have the convector radiator, so no blown air on this. It's all going to be convector. It's then going to go into the freeze chamber they have. I think Truma and Aldi have got a freeze chamber.
Yes.
They're allowing us to take this into a freeze chamber to see how it does.
Wow.
So
because they do that, they take them down to these low temperatures. They don't take them up to the high temperatures. So we did that for Swift this year, last year, and we took it up to 48 degrees in Morocco. Didn't we?
They're ever so grateful.
It'd be interesting to see this when it's done, John. It looks
definitely,
fantastic.
Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do yet, but
right.
Yeah.
And
I suppose you're doing this in between customers' vans, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
I was going to ask that. Is this an in-between project? Or is
Yeah,
this
it
something
is.
Oh, but you just want to get your teeth into it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Customers always come first.
John, thanks so much. I'll be back in a few weeks after the NEC when this can really start. Well, there we are. John at Knight's Custom Conversions. He just goes out of his way to get the job done right. They've had this in for weeks now, and it's kind of development time that they've spent. So they can get this as a CAD cut package, so this can be easily replicated. Once it's done, they'll be able to press the button and it will cut out all the bits. So if anyone else is thinking about converting an ID buzz, definitely get in touch with Knight's Customs Conversions, because they've done all the groundwork already. But I'll tell you what's funny, it seems faster. They've taken out the bulkhead, they've taken out the floor, and quite a bit of weight saving already. It feels much faster, but you can hear the motor whining when I put my foot down. Listen to this. I don't know if you can hear that, but it certainly feels faster, even if it isn't. Right, let's see if we can find somewhere to get some lunch. Get some lunch, missus.
Let's do it. And breakfast, actually.
As we were passing Peterborough Services, we popped back into KFC. He's winging its way to the kitchen. So that's a deal at the minute. Chicken sandwich, 2 hot wings for $3.99. Good deal at KFC. I realised we were here on the first half of the video when we dropped the van off at Knight's for the Surfshark integration.
Yeah, so if you want to get the Surfshark deal, don't forget to hit the link in the description or scan this QR code here and you get super deal. And now it's time to get it wrapped.